Let's listen in on a live, unscripted Challenger School class. They're reviewing the American Revolution.
The British were initiating force and the Americans were retaliating.
Okay, where did they initiate force?
It started in their taxation without representation.
Why is that wrong?
The purpose of a government is to protect individual rights, and by encroaching on individual rights, they cannot protect them.
Welcome to 8th grade at Challenger School. Learn more at challengerschool.com.
You know a spot, but not just a spot. The spot. Actually, with the all-new Nissan Frontier, you know a bunch of them. One for hitting a trail. One for catching a wave. One where this happened.
Yo, where'd our tent go?
Another where the fish get bigger every time you tell the story. Some spots, you made your mark. Others marked you. And one, okay, let's stay away from that one. But the key to these great spots, being able to reach them in the first place. Your spot is out there. Find your frontier in the all-new 2022 Nissan Frontier. With best-in-class standard 310 horsepower, advanced tech, and 281 pound-foot of torque. Comparison based on 2022 Frontier S versus latest in-market Ward small truck segment. Base models compared based on manufacturer's website.
Welcome to the Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery Podcast. I'm Dr. Jay Calvert, and I'm on tonight by Zoom with Dr. Millicent Ravello, parachuting in from the east side of Los Angeles. How are you doing, Millicent?
I'm doing great. How are you? Good evening.
I'm good. I'm back from the ASAPS meeting.
That's right. You were just in San Diego for the past 5 days, getting your ASAPs on.
I'll tell you what, I thought I was going to get to enjoy San Diego a little bit more than I did. It was, it was so busy. There was so much stuff going on.
I'm upset. I missed it, but not really, because I was actually on vacation, which I haven't done in forever in a day. But usually I'm also at the ASAPS meeting. ASAPS is our Aesthetic Society meeting, which happens annually. And it's usually a great show and a meeting I love going to. And this year it was in San Diego. So I missed it, but you were there representing for the Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery Podcast. So thank you.
I do want to mention that, and you're welcome, but I do want to mention that the ASAPS is now calling itself the Aesthetic Society.
The Aesthetic Society. ASAPS was, let's see if I can remember that acronym. Aesthetic Society Association of Plastic
American
Surgeons.
Society. Start again. Start over.
American Society of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons, right?
I think it's the American Society for Aesthetic Plastic Surgery is what I believe the acronym stood for, but it's over now. It's now the Aesthetic Society.
The Aesthetic Society. And that's just to differentiate between reconstruction surgery and aesthetic surgery. There's kind of two branches in plastic surgery, and the majority of us do a little bit of both, or maybe we skew one side or the other. And so the ASPS is the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, and that sort of encompasses the entire breadth of plastic surgery. And then there is this separate society, which is the Aesthetic Society, and that's geared really only to aesthetic surgery. So cosmetic surgery, breast implants, facelifts, rhinoplasty, although they have recently introduced aesthetic breast reconstruction, which I think is really cool. So now it does talk about breast reconstruction as well from an aesthetic standpoint and how to make breast reconstruction even more aesthetic. So that's what this meeting is about. It's usually a great meeting. So tell me about it. How was it? What'd you do?
Well, we teed off with a little Rhinoplasty Society meeting first. So that started off on Wednesday. And that was an incredible meeting. So I just want to go on record that at the end of that meeting, like all the presentations really were top notch. It was one of the best rhinoplasty meetings I've been to.
Nice.
I mean, just coming off the Bergamo meeting, which was amazing. This was even more focused and directed. And at the end of the meeting, the president, who is Larry Berkowitz, his guest speaker was Ron Gruber, who is a genius rhinoplasty surgeon, plastic surgeon, great guy. He's a physicist, gave an incredible talk. he is really just astute and dialed in and, pithy and just a smart dude. And then
Can't say I've
after
ever
that,
had a talk from a physicist. That's interesting.
well, he's a plastic surgeon,
Right.
and a great rhinoplasty surgeon. He really invented these Gruber sutures, which we all use, and lots of other people take credit for them fairly regularly, which drives me a little bit crazy, as you might imagine. But he's just a smart guy. And after Gruber, Roland Daniel gave a summary of his career and what worked for him,
That's
and
pretty
how
cool.
he came to do the first free flap, and how he came up with tip suturing, and when we did our dice cartilage and fascia grafts, and on to preservation rhinoplasty, and what he's going to do with the rest of his life. It was really great. I mean, Roland's obviously my mentor for many years. We published together some very powerful papers, but on top of that, his talk was great. He was very he's humble and brilliant, and just gave a great lecture. It was awesome.
That's really cool. I'm glad that you had all those really powerful people speaking. That's really important.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
Because after that, Mark Costantian, Ash Gavami, and Rod Rorick all spoke about the late Jack Sheen,
Oh, wow.
who wrote the first book, Aesthetic Rhinoplasty.
Wow.
And though we really credit Jacques Joseph with the, creation of the modern day specialty of rhinoplasty, and there are many others who've contributed, and Jacques Joseph is just one of them, Jack Sheen was really the one who summed it up and brought it home for people in the modern era. And it was great to hear from them. I mean, Mark Costantian was like, he worked with him all the time and knew him really well. And it was just really, it was great. So that was like, it was like a triple whammy of Ron Gruber, Roland Daniel, Jack Sheen, all clear giants in the field of rhinoplasty.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that is quite the powerhouse.
So it was great. Anybody who's into rhinoplasty was just like, awesome. Then we did the course on Friday, which I ran the rhinoplasty course with Jamil Ahmad. The two of us were the co-directors, and I guess we're doing it again next year in Miami. And I got to say, we got some great speakers. It was a lot of fresh faces, a lot of fresh topics, and it was really educational. I learned a lot. I love learning while I'm speaking. I mean, that's sort of the ultimate.
And this was a whole day dedicated to rhinoplasty. It was a rhinoplasty symposium.
Well, there was the symposium started at 8:00 and went till 1:30 or 2:00, and then there was the cadaver lab after that.
Got it. And
So
what
it
did
was a
you
full
speak
day.
on? What were your topics?
I did septal reconstruction, and then I did the analysis lecture, and then everybody had one or two lectures, but I got to say just some of my colleagues really knocked it out of the park. They were incredible lectures. I thought Steinbacher did a great job. I thought that Aaron Cousins and Dino did great jobs. It was just an amazing, Rod Rorick, of course, always delivers. We had great speakers. It was awesome. And
Where do you go for the cadaver lab part of it? Because
they've got a room like sectioned out with like a lot of heads hanging around.
in the San Diego Convention Center, there were cadaver heads.
Oh yeah. You just roll them up and back, and that's the way it goes. Maybe they brought them in a duffel bag or something.
The convention staff were like, "What are we doing here?"
Totally. Wait, I thought we were just having like
these...
some exhibits. Like these are dead people.
These are dead heads.
Yes. Totally.
Yes, please, thank you. Can you just line them up over there? Thank you.
So it was awesome. I mean, it was really cool. And then, then Friday the meeting started. The meeting proper started. I went to a bunch of facelift stuff, and I did some eyelid stuff, a lot of fat grafting, some breast stuff. It's all things that are kind of in our, we're in the conversation, you and me. Like we're always talking about it. We're on it. We are not, like, whoa, that's,